Welcome to NBA Basketball. This is 2K Sports bringing it to you live. Wednesday in the NBA. It's going to be Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors up against Nene and the Denver Nuggets. And that's it for us in the studio. To call all the action, let's go out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. I'll see you again at halftime.
Thanks for joining us as we bring you this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports along with Doris Burke, Clark Kellogg, and Steve Kerr. This is Kevin Harlan. It's all about the Western Conference. That's where the action is today as the Denver Nuggets get ready to battle. So a look at our starting five for the Warriors brought to us tonight by State Farm. Terrell Wright and David Lee are the forwards. Monte and Curry in the backcourt, and it's Biedrins in at the 5, home in the paint. And for Denver, Kmart and Nene are inside. Lawson and Aflalo are the backcourt, and it's Gallinari in at the 3, the small forward. Ellis can't get it to go. Here's Denver now.
You know, it took a while, but it's nice to see those knees of Kenyon Martin start to get closer to full strength as he continues to make a solid contribution to his team. Boy, you got to love that kind of anticipatory defense.
Dumps it down.
That was vicious. I mean, real vicious. He hung on the rim just to say, you realize this is my basket, don't you?
Yeah, that is a nice finishing touch.
Yeah, just finishing with a little emphasis, guys. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, back to Kmart, Clark. You had knee problems, too, so you can appreciate what this guy has gone. Hard to think he'll be the explosive player he was, but he is a smart defender, always has been. Veteran. You know, Steve, a lot to offer.
Oh, defensively, I mean, Kenyon Martin's as good as it gets, Kevin, because this is a guy who can guard multiple positions. He's got incredibly quick feet, and he takes pride in it. I mean, he just wants the challenge of guarding the opponent's best player.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Kevin, I had a chance to catch up with George Karl for just a few moments. He told me he thought the game would boil down to how well they run their offense, saying, I know we've got the firepower to put up a lot of points, but it's not going to happen automatically. We need to run our plays and try not to get too cute. Let's see how it plays out, Kevin.
Thanks for filling us in there, Doris. Thank you so much. Getting their offense sorted out is the priority here, guys.
And I agree. I mean, a good call, I think. Try to get into a rhythm early and get everybody involved and everybody touching and go from there.
Yes, exactly. But you've got to establish a few different scoring options as soon as possible. Get everyone involved and find that pace, that groove you're looking for as a team.
And here's Lawson. Curry with the steal. And here's the fast break. Jumps up. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the wide. It could be a three-point play. A different look for Denver. Wilson Chandler's checked in for Martin. And J.R. Smith's subbed in for Aaron Aflalo.
Kevin, Stephen Curry was a seventh pick in the 2009 draft, and if they did that over, he might be the second pick. I mean, he's a terrific shooter and good potential as a playmaker. I think the Warriors got a steal.
Now, here's Gallinari. Bangs home the trifecta.
And the offense, I mean, 3 or 4, a solid start for this game.
From downtown, and that one's good. Ellis has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Talking about the future of Steph Curry, Clark, he joined Team USA for the World Championships in 2010 to make the team after just his rookie season. Steve, a very impressive distinction.
Yeah, winning a gold medal. What an experience that was for Steph Curry and for a Warriors organization that hasn't had an all-star in almost 15 years. And Curry represents the future of that franchise.
And taken away by Ellis. It's good, and there's a block called on the play. He'll get one free throw.
Seems like that finger roll just comes naturally to him. Great touch. You know, one of the things the Warriors have done pretty well over the years is scout the D-League. They've found guys like Reggie Williams and Jeremy Lin, and they do a nice job of finding talent.
It's one-on-one. Here's Curry, and it's blocked. Lawson against Ellis. 18 feet away. The shot's good from Lawson. Lawson's got his second bucket of the game to go. Good point, Steve. Warriors do uncover some unsung talent. They've got some players who have moved on. Impressive shooters, the undrafted Anthony Morrow, former D-League players, C.J. Watson, Anthony Tolliver, and go on and on.
Yeah, and of course, Kevin, sometimes injuries have necessitated the Warriors being creative and finding some of those kinds of guys, but nonetheless, they seem to have done a good job of picking the right ones that fit in well.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
Guys, if you're a visiting team, I mean, the Pepsi Center is one of the toughest places to try to steal a win. I mean, the altitude isn't helping matters, that's for sure, and it can actually literally take the wind out of it.
Here's what Denver's going with right now. Kenyon Martin is checked in for Gallinari. Flalo comes in for J.R. Smith. And Andre Miller is subbed in for Ty Lawson. Then for the Warriors, Andres Biedrins is checked in for Amundsen. Udo comes in for David Lee. And it's Williams in for Steph Curry. And for the Nuggets, going back to their home court advantage. You know, when you get off the opposing team bus, the first sign you see as you go in that doorway is, just to warn you folks, you're a mile high and breathing. Right?
That's right.
You played there, you saw it.
No, that's right.
It's hard to breathe here. So now you mix in their high energy, that high pace of game that they go through. I mean, wow, what a combination.
Yeah, that's a lethal combination if you're the road team.
And they're too deep at every position, guys, so they can really put some pressure on you at both ends of the floor.
Here's Miller. Picked up by Ellis. Here's Chandler. That's good. It's Miller with the assist.
Creating that kind of shot in close is really your primary objective every possession.
Out of bounds. They'll keep possession.
They're fortunate that one was just deflected and not stolen. Dodged a bullet there.
Here's Williams. Dishes it to Ellis. On the wing. Ellis can't get that one to fall either.
Defense a little shaky there, and he had a good look.
That is good. Guys, what a tight start to the game this has been.
You know what? Can you believe there have been 7 lead changes already, guys?
Wow.
Yeah, we're still in the first half. I mean, the way this thing is going, this could turn into a wild one.
The Nuggets trail and taken away by Ellis. Easy shot. Denver grabs the miss.
Boy, surprised to see that one stay out.
Me too, Steve. I mean, those are ones that usually go down for sure.
That one is off. So both teams making some changes here. And he's good on the second. And stolen by Miller.
Anticipating that pass so well. Beautifully done.
It's all tied in Denver. Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And it's the Warriors' ball.
Well, I tell you what, when I think about Andre Miller, it's...
Here's a second look with the Sprite Slam Cam.
Well, the lead just going back and forth here. We're seeing some really good basketball.
You know what, guys? I've lost track of how many times the lead has changed. I mean, it's obvious, though, it's been a good one, and neither side can pull away.
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Guys, last season, Vladimir Radmanovic finally had a bounce-back performance as far as his shooting, which had slumped off badly since leaving the Lakers. Radmanovic said, "It becomes frustrating when your biggest weapon is not there. You start thinking about it. I'm a big guy who can shoot, but you have to be able to prove it. Guys, we'll see if he can continue to build on his confidence from last year.
That's right, Doris. Thanks.
Yeah, rare to see a shooter who has a lull for that long suddenly recover. Very unusual.
And that one's good by Miller.
Yeah, they're finding the open man. Unselfish play. I like it.
Yeah, I love it too. Teamwork in evidence there, right on full display. A big percentage, a high percentage of their baskets have come off assists. Well, you know, playing against the Thunder has to bring back some pain. Memories for the Nuggets, guys. I mean, looking back on their first round loss, and it was closer than the 5-game total might suggest. That was a very competitive series.
The Nuggets making a switch here. Gallinari's checked in, pushing it up. And here we go. Here's Long. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give them 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, that should be a rule. No layups. Protect the paint. Make them earn every point.
Yeah, I think that's just tough, hard-nosed, smash-mouth basketball. Make your opponent earn their points from the line. Don't give up any layups.
David Lee checked in for Al Thornton. Yeah, you're right, Clark. In that series between the Thunder and the Nuggets, really a tough defensive series. Steve, both teams shooting just 42% from the field.
And I thought what really hurt Denver was giving up so many offensive rebounds to the Thunder. And that led to a lot of free throws because we saw some offensive putbacks and fouls. Those little things over the course of a series, Kevin, those really make a huge difference as time moves on.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
The Warriors last season played the Eastern Conference teams to a draw as far as wins and losses. But in the Western Conference, which is obviously deeper, they were just 21-31.
And he sinks the second. Well, and for the Warriors, Steve, you just talked about that Western Conference record of 21 up and 31 down. A lot of shootouts. But how do they come away victorious?
Well, I think the front office has hit it on the head. I mean, they've said they've focused on needing to get longer and stronger. And in the West, we've got to have the bodies to bang with the big boys. So they've got to get not only longer, but stronger, bigger.
And so here's Golden State. The Nuggets getting the bucket. Passes it to Gallinari. Now right defending. Martin up top. Covered by Lee. The 3 from Afflalo. And the shot is good. Afflalo's got 10 points in the game. And stolen by Miller. And here they come. Right up. And he lays it straight in. And it's a 4-point Nugget lead.
I like the way he attacked the mismatch, using his speed to get that shot off.
Definitely, I agree. I mean, sometimes it forces you to be a bit more creative in that situation.
Here is Miller. Martin up top. Gallinari against Wright. Gallinari passes to Miller. 6 on the shot clock. Afflalo. That's in, coming off an assist from Miller. 15 points in the game.
Aaron Afflalo is one of my favorite players, guys. He's scrappy, he's tough, and he always seems to get better every offseason. He's a really good player to have on the team.
And the Nuggets with some changes. Nene, he's checked in for Anderson. Chandler comes in for Kenyon Martin. And it's Lawson in for Andre Miller. Monte Ellis checked in for Golden State. Curry comes in for Long. Steve was just talking about the way Aaron Afflalo keeps adding layers to his game. That's a big part of what you think in terms of what makes the complete player. Always a tough defender, Afflalo. But we saw how he added Clark a nice 3-point shot offensively, especially from the corners.
You know, going back to when I met him when he was at UCLA, there was a real maturity and professionalism about him. And that certainly has shown itself in his pro career. Because that's what you want. Guys that are solid, low maintenance, and you know they're working on their game and getting better. And he's hungry. He wants to prove that he's a really good player. And so far, he's been able to do that.
A real pro, like you said.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, here's Curry. He's got 9. Here's Ellis. And another 3 for Golden State.
That's 9 straight points coming off 3 3-pointers. The defense just getting shelled.
Steve, the threes are killing them. I think they've got to find a way to chase them off the 3-point line.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, so confident is owner Joe Lacob that he has signed a contract with the Golden State Warriors fans. His goals include reaching the playoffs and having an all-star. And if these goals are not met, the fans will receive gifts and ticket price changes for each goal not met. A unique strategy to be sure, guys.
Thank you, Doris. We'll see how many of those goals they meet.
Yeah. You talk about backing up your talk. I mean, fans have to appreciate that gesture from the Warriors brass. A little too much body on that one, and that's going to be a block.
Always a hard thing to judge, but I agree with you, Steve. Clearly a block.
First free throw is good.
Well, Ty Lawson is just so fast on the floor. I mean, he's a beat blur. I mean, it's impossible to stay in front of that guy. Low center of gravity and unbelievable speed.
Kenyon Martin has checked in for Denver. Smith comes in for Aaron Aflalo. Here's Curry, and the Warriors take on two more. Here's Lawson. 11 points in the game. Exactly, you said, Clark, about Lawson. We're starting to see a lot of the shorter, quicker point guards make their way, Steve, back in the league.
And I think that's a direct result, Kevin, of the rule changes, in the last 7-8 years. The hand checking no longer allowed, so these smaller, quicker point guards can really get to the rim and cause havoc for the defense.
They get the rebound. Nene kicks to Smith. Working it around now. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Tries again. Curry knocks it away. Warriors leading by 4.
Smart call here. They'll play for one shot.
That's right. Try to get the last shot of the quarter here, Steve.
And here we go with Ty Lawson. Curry with the steal. Pushes up. And there's Ellis. That's good on the assist by Curry. 16 points for Ellis. Throws it from deep. Lawson can't hit. And that concludes the first half. From the Pepsi Center in downtown Denver, we're back in a moment.
Happy Wednesday to you. Let's keep your week rolling right along with HP at the half. A good one in progress for the Warriors. Great activity on the defensive end of the floor. They're forcing a ton of turnovers. Stephen Curry with an amazing start. He's got 13 points and digging in on defense as well, putting in good work on both ends of the floor. And still in it, the Nuggets hanging around. They've been shooting themselves in the foot with all these turnovers. It's a sloppy brand of basketball. Andre Miller not looking good so far. His shot isn't falling. He's been ice cold. Great effort on the court by these two in the first half. We'll see if they can carry the load again in the second. And now we send you back out to the game. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. Warriors leading by 6.
One of the concerns for the Golden State Warriors after last season was fortifying its bench, and that was an area where they really tried to improve this past offseason.
Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. And Golden State looking at who they've got. Monte and Curry in the backcourt. David Lee and Andres Beatrice up front. And it's Wright in at the 3 spot. Well, going back to the Golden State Warriors bench, every team needs those 6-7 guys that can be relied upon every game for consistent play. Actually, whether starting or coming off the bench.
Without question, Kevin. The Warriors were lucky if they had 4 consistent players all year. I mean, they've got a decent nucleus to build around, but absolutely depth is an area this team has to improve.
Here's Ellis. He's got 20. Outside Curry. Nene pulls it in.
As great as they've been on the board so far, they just haven't found a way to get out on top.
Yeah, but if they continue to rebound, they can put together a little run here and cut into this lead.
On its way from Curry for 2. Yes, and it's Ellis picking up the assist.
Down low, down low.
And that's 15 points for Steph Curry. Curry with the steal. Makes the lead pass. And Monte Ellis the bucket on the assist by Curry. Curry's got his 4th assist in this one.
And guys, I thought Nene had the best season of his career last year for Denver. Averaged 15 points a game, and most impressively, he shot 62% from the floor.
Now here's Afflalo. He's got 15. And again, Denver no good.
And that's not really his range. Has a tough time in that mid-range area.
And that one's good, Ellis.
What a fantastic performance from long range.
Well, that's been his territory all game, Steve.
And back to Nene, if that is the field goal percentage, Clark, we're going to see from him going forward, that is a big boost to his season.
Yeah, it is a huge boost. And again, it's a matter of shot selection for a guy like him. He's strong, he's fast, he finishes around the rim. If he can sustain that, that's good news for him and bad news for the opponents.
Curry against Lawson. Gallinari, he's guarded by Ellis. The 3 from Afflalo. Another 3 for Denver.
Everything's going right now. 4 for 5 shooting, 80%. They've got their offense clicking.
Here's Curry with the 3. Another 3 for Golden State.
And they answer right back with that 3.
It's a good old shootout. The fans are enjoying this show.
Denver calls timeout.
Well, despite all the turmoil surrounding the Nuggets last season, the Pepsi Center was a sanctuary as far as wins were concerned. 33-8 for the Nuggets at home, and that was while they were dealing with all the Carmelo Anthony situation.
Catching up on the changes for Denver. Wilson Chandler's checked in for Martin. And J.R. Smith's subbed in for Aaron Afflalo. A fadeaway. Chandler, no good. And Denver has always been a tough place to win for road teams. Like you said, Steve, 3rd best home record a season ago. The elevation certainly is a factor. You talk to players. Clark, you played in that mile-high air. It makes it a little bit harder to catch your breath.
It does. I mean, there's certainly something to the elevation, but there's also something to the transversing through different time zones, which is often the case, especially for teams coming from the East. And then you factor in a very enthusiastic and supportive crowd. But the biggest thing is they're usually pretty good. I mean, they've usually got a pretty good roster. So it's no wonder that teams have a tough time getting wins at the Pepsi Center.
Probably time to bring an extra defender, change up the defense a little bit.
Well, Steve, he's been so good. I think they got to take the ball out of his hands right now.
It's stolen by Lawson.
The turnover difference hasn't been in their favor, but you know what? It hasn't really slowed them down too much. I like the fact they're staying aggressive here.
Picked up by Ellis. And it's Lawson. That time on the assist by Nene. 16 points for Lawson.
Another open look. Hits bottom from outside.
Yep, and that's 3 of their last 5 makes from beyond the arc.
You know, it's really the kind of game you expect from him, guys. I mean, extremely efficient. Taking a lot of good shots.
Front past the arc, and again Denver with the triple.
Boy, that's too easy. You cannot let a shooter that good get a warm-up jump shot like that. If you do that, it'll be raining all day from out there.
And he responds with his own 3-pointer.
Yeah, he came right back with his 3. And we're seeing a bit of gamesmanship right here, Steve.
Curry is whistled for reaching in. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. A different look for Denver. Chris Anderson is checked in for Nene. Martin comes in for Gallinari. And it's Afflalo in for J.R. Smith. And then for Golden State, Udo's checked in for Amundsen. Thornton comes in for David Lee. And it's Williams in for Jarrell Wright. Afflalo, no good.
That's an easy shot there. That's a shot that he should make more often than not.
It's stolen by Lawson.
They have been so disruptive defensively. A lot of team speed out there.
Backing down is Anderson, off his foot, and the official saying it was kicked.
Charlie Bell, AC Mob.
There's 14 seconds left to play in the 3rd.
Well, he's forcing the issue out there, guys. No question. He's really struggling trying to take care of the ball.
Lawson from outside. Offensive rebound. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play chance here. Nice job at the line, and that one falls to pick up the and 1. He couldn't stay in bounds, and that's going to be a turnover.
Really poor decision on that pass.
That will count. The shot no good. And offensively, a great show for the fans through the first 3 quarters. It's been a fun game to watch. Monte up. And now let's send it to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, for our Sprite Spark of the game. Doris?
Hey guys, well it was the stretch by the Warriors that garners the Sprite Spark today. Things started opening up for them in the 3rd quarter as they exerted their will onto this game, and they are in complete control as the game now heads into the 4th and final period, guys.
Terrific stuff, Doris. Thank you. That was quite a run they had, Clark.
Yeah, I tell you what, Kevin, scoring bursts like that often tell the story, really. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
And that's been the case today. I mean, that's what you'd have to point to, I think, is the defining moment in this ballgame.
We've got Chris Anderson, Wilson Chandler out there with Martin. Then there's a Flalo, and it's Miller in at the 1. That's the group in the game for the Nuggets. They rule this one, goaltending. Help the shot.
And the shootout continues.
Trading buckets both ways. I mean, offense definitely the focal point for these teams.
Outside Curry. Drills the three-pointer. Curry's got 28 points for the game.
But you gotta love to see that kind of range. He's been lighting it up from outside.
There's the 3, and there's Chandler. That's good on the assist by Miller. Miller's got 6 assists now in the game. There's the triple, and another 3 for Golden State.
Guys, it's a one-man show out there. I mean, he looks like he's willing to handle all of the offensive duties for his team.
Chandler outside. Pass to Martin. He's guarded by Thornton. Martin kicks to Anderson. Shot clock at 5. Miller dishes to Chandler. And he slams it home. Here's the replay on the Spark Slam King.
Boy, that dunk got everybody up off their seat.
Oh, they're loving it, aren't they, Steve?
Well, how could they not? I mean, he put the cherry on top of the sundae on that one.
Here's Ellis. Rebound by the Nuggets. Flalo's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
Strange trend here, guys. They're totally controlling the glass, but they still trail.
You get the feeling that one is going to correct. Either they'll lose their edge on the glass or catch up in points sooner or later. We'll see.
Time called here. The Nuggets decide to talk it over.
Well, I think it was certainly a topsy-turvy season for the Nuggets with all the Carmelo trade rumors, but, you know, considering all of that uncertainty, it was good to see the way they rallied after the trade and finished the season really strong.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, over that break, I was able to catch the message George Karl was giving to his team. He warned his team to get back in transition defense, saying they're giving up way too many fast break buckets, and he wants an end to it. He said, hey, let's slow the tempo and make them take some tough shots. A sound defense. Strategy, Kevin.
He made sure everybody saw that slam, Kevin. Stayed on the rim for a little while extra.
Maybe he wanted to give his legs a little rest there, Clark.
Well, you look at the effects of that Carmelo trade, what that had on the Denver Nuggets, Steve. It seemed like they didn't lose a whole lot of ground in the West once that trade went down.
Well, they got much better defensively after the trade, and they were able to play fast and still score points. The question is, without Carmelo, can you win in the playoffs? Can you score when the defense is set? And I think that's going to be a major task for Denver without Carmelo Anthony, one of the best scorers in the league.
Backing down is Nene. Goes up low. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Been a little too easy for them inside, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, Steve. I mean, they've really dictated the action in the paint. That's been their focus, and the defense hasn't mounted much resistance at all.
All alone. Oh!
Well, that's a dunk you will not see very often. You won't pass that one by.
No doubt about that.
I wish he would, though. You can never see too many of those.
Got that bucket in no time at all. And the Warriors lead by 12.
Another fast break move. They're just outrunning their opponent here.
You know what, Steve? I think the defense has left themselves vulnerable, and they're learning the hard way that speed definitely kills.
And the Nuggets with some changes. Chandler comes in for J.R. Smith. And it's Lawson in for Andre Miller. Then for the Warriors, Ellis comes in for Charlie Bell. And Steph Curry is subbed in for AC Long.
Well, all these turnovers really hurting his team. He continues to give the ball away. Tell you what, this is as dialed in as you will ever see a player.
And you know what, Steve? If they're smart, they'll get him the ball every trip down.
The shot's good from Lawson. Timeout called the Warriors. They're up by 13. 1:43 left in the fourth quarter. .143 left in the fourth quarter. From deep three-point range, Ellis can't get it to go.
As great as they've been on the board so far, they just haven't found a way to get out on top.
Yeah, but if they continue to rebound, they can put together a little run here and cut into this lead.
Unloads. Chandler, no good.
Had a good look at the rim, though. That was poor defense.
Fires for three. That's good. 36 points for Ellis.
And they add to this lead, trying to close this game out.
I think it would take a lot of luck and maybe then some. I mean, might be time to pack this thing in.
Feeds to Gallinari. On the wing, Chandler. He's guarded by Ellis. Takes it up. A nice shot by Gallinari.
He's been producing all night. It's up to the rest of his team to start kicking in a little bit.
Here's Curry. No luck. So the Nuggets will take it the other way. There's 47 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. A nice shot by Gallinari.
Nice little run here, but it may be too little too late.
Yeah, I agree. Just not enough time, Steve. The clock is their enemy, not their friend.
Curry backing down. On the top of the key. That's good. Curry's got 33.
Yeah, that's going to do it. I mean, this thing is pretty much over. They've played well.
Well, it has been a bit anticlimactic, the end of the game, but sometimes that's the way it goes.
And that ought to do it. That should seal the deal.
Yep, I agree. Closing it out with relish.
Lawson from outside. That's good.
And he gets a three of his own. Good answer there.
Yeah, and he's not scared to trade shots like that.
Timeout called the Warriors. They're ahead by 13. 11 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
It's almost like they're rubbing it in a little bit with this timeout, guys.
Yeah, not really much to talk about. Let's get the game over and move on.
Curry can't get it to go. From deep. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. You know, Clark, every team has a bad night, and these guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dreamlike games for a coach.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Stephen Curry.